Eerie castles and jagged mountains make Romania the perfect setting for vampire tales. But look beneath the winding trails and crumbling fortresses, and you'll find the story of the real Dracula.
It's creepy.
From prisons where his victims would await their deaths.
I don't think I would want to spend a day of my life imprisoned by Vlad the Impaler.
To the cell in which Vlad himself was held hostage and passed the time by impaling mice.
Dark and dank, baby.
And even the bat caves where the legend was born.
Look at them, they're all over the place.
Romania's underground is filled with secrets of its past. We're peeling back the layers of time on Cities of the Underworld, Dracula's Underground. Romania is the largest country in southeastern Europe. It's a country with a long and bloody past.
I'm Don Wildman. I'm in Romania, home of Dracula, both the legendary vampire and the real-life ruler. But where does fact meet fiction? The clues are buried beneath the imposing castles, medieval villages, and mysterious hillsides of Wallachia and Transylvania. We're headed for a subterranean world where fact is far more terrifying than fiction.
Today we know the name from the vampire monster in Bram Stoker's Dracula. But in real life, Vlad Dracula was a 15th century prince. At only 17 years old, Dracula took the throne and went on to become one of the most notorious rulers in history. Few realize that although he was actually in power for only 7 years, he managed to unite the province of Wallachia for the first time in centuries. And how did he do it? By using the most brutal and barbaric punishment ever seen, which in turn earned him the new name, Vlad the Impaler. Today, much of his legacy and the kingdom he helped to build have been destroyed. But clues that reveal who he was and evidence of his reign of terror still remain, buried beneath the ground. Just 215 miles from the capital city of Bucharest lies a massive bat cave. It's among the largest in Romania, and it's where the legend of Dracula begins.
The cave is from that way. It's not far away. We have to walk 5 minutes.
Spelunker Vadim Bondar knows these caves like the back of his hand. He was taking me down into this cave system that's home to several species of bats. It's a world which has never been fully explored. It's hard to believe, but in all, there are 12,500 caves beneath this Romanian landscape. The cave we were heading into is part of a 15-mile network that descends more than 300 feet below the surface.
Okay, Don. Now we prepare to come in.
Yeah?
Okay. This is our suite.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You have comfortable here?
All right. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, this is the gate. Reservation here. The lamp, please.
Down into this cave. It's really kind of spooky. What is it? Oh, wow.
Look at the sound.
Oh, yeah.
Sound of the bat.
Oh, there they are.
Look at the bat.
Look at them. They're all over the place. All of them. How cool.
Vadim believes there's more than 10,000 bats living in here. They hibernate in the winter, and in the summer, they leave the caves to feed. These bats only come out under the cover of darkness, and while on the prowl, they actually eat the equivalent of their body weight in insects every day. This underworld was created more than 60 million years ago.
Now, how far down does this cave go?
The older system have 25 kilometers.
25 kilometers
25
is the
kilometers.
entire system.
This entire system, yes.
So there's many different...
Exploring system, because maybe are another few kilometers which is unexplored yet.
Wow.
Yes.
And so it branches off into many different tunnels and everything. This is just one of
Yes,
the
and
many.
the different levels.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Big jump. I'm going further down into this cave. It's so cool.
Okay, don't be very careful here.
Oh, yeah? Always slippery, huh?
Okay.
This massive cave we were exploring stretched down 4 levels. So the best way to get into it was to rappel.
It's my favorite part of adventure. So we can't get there by the trail, so harnessing up. Professionally harnessed. These guys are good.
Okay.
It was a 120-foot drop that would lead to the deepest cavern in this system.
You have another 15 meters. This is the last level of that cave.
Man, this is beautiful. Wow.
Listen to the echo.
Hello! This place is big. You got a lot of caves, you got a lot of bats.
Yes.
It's kind of understandable how people could make the connection between Romania and vampires. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you admit. Good.
Yes.
So there could be vampires in here, who knows? Why do you think Romania has such a reputation for mystery and legend? I mean, what gives the place that quality?
In my opinion, the first reason is the Dracula.
Right, from the book.
The book, yes.
The book was written by Bram Stoker in 1897, over 400 years after Vlad Dracula died. And the setting for the book's famous Nosferatu is modern-day Romania, the landscape of which is filled with caves like the one I was exploring. So who was this real-life prince who in 7 short years left behind a legacy of terror? His story begins in 1431, when Vlad was born. It was the 15th century, an incredibly tumultuous and brutal time in the region. Dracula got his name from his father, who was a member of an elite society called the Order of the Dragon. It was an elusive fraternity founded by the Holy Roman Emperor in 1408. In Romanian, Dracul means dragon, so his father adopted that as his nickname. And Dracula literally means son of the dragon, or son of the devil. The Ottoman Empire and the Hungarian Empire were the major powers, and the province of Wallachia sat in the middle of the two. Arch enemies, the Hungarians and the Ottomans both used Wallachia as a pawn, and Vlad became a crucial piece in their game. When young Vlad was only 12, the Turks helped to get his father back onto the throne of Wallachia. But to repay them, Vlad's father had to send Vlad and his brother to the Turks as hostages. If their father tried to double-cross the Turks, the boys would likely have been killed. But the Hungarians were circling Wallachia, just waiting to attack. And to make matters worse, Vlad's father was hated by those he ruled. So in 1447, his subjects joined with the Hungarians and went in for the kill. Dracula's oldest brother was buried alive, and his father was assassinated by his own people. After his father's death, the Turks released Vlad with their own agenda. They appointed him officer of a Turkish army to help him avenge his father's murder and claim the throne. Just 17 years old, what Vlad Dracula was about to do is far more terrifying than fiction. Romania's landscape is as rugged as its history. Castles and fortresses are everywhere, but none are more foreboding than those inhabited by Vlad Dracula. In the 15th century, Wallachia's relationship with its neighbors, the Ottoman Empire and Hungary, was volatile. Alliances constantly shifted with the wind, and the backstabbing continued even while Vlad was in power. He returned to Wallachia in 1447. His reign of terror soon began, and for the next 30 years, the Wallachian throne changed hands several times.
While the myth of Count Dracula is frightening, the story of the real man is downright terrifying. And it all started in Trgovista. Prince Vlad Dracula returned home, his father assassinated, and his brother buried alive. He was surrounded by enemies, Ottomans in the south, the Hungarians in the west, and always assassins operated from within. To defend his title, he fortified his capital, Trgovista, against attack, and plotted a revenge so bloody, so gruesome, that it would one day earn the young prince a new title, Vlad the Impaler.
At the time, Trgovista was the capital of Wallachia, which is now part of modern-day Romania, and was the site of Vlad Dracula's family fortress. Parts of the castle at Trgovista still exist today. It's just a shell of what it once was. But what happened here would cement Dracula's grim legacy. And today, the evidence is 30 feet beneath the castle. Petru Virgil Diaconescu is an underground expert who could take me down into Vlad's secret world, and Ramona Niakshu came along to translate.
Hi.
We started at one of the most intact parts of the fortress, the tower.
So this is Vlad's tower, huh?
Yes.
Man, it's beautiful.
Before we went underground,
Okay, we can climb if you wish.
we needed to go up.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow, this is it, huh? This is where Vlad Tepes stood, looking over his lands of Wallachia. Wow, amazing.
In 1462, 15 years after his return to Wallachia, alliances had changed again, and Vlad was against the Turks. The Turks counterattacked, entering Wallachia with an army 3 times as large as Vlad's. He retreated to Trgovista, leaving a path of destruction in his own homeland. He burned his own villages and poisoned his own wells along the way, so that the advancing armies would have nothing to eat or drink. But the worst was yet to come. When the starving Turkish army finally arrived at the doorstep to Dracula's fortress, a scene from a horror film lay before them. Vlad had impaled 10,000 people, including women and children. He watched from the tower where we were now standing, as the impaled slowly died. Incredibly, he actually made the stakes out of the trees.
They were the actual trees.
These were the
all
actual trees.
with the roots.
Yes, it was a tree with bodies in it.
Oh my God. So he left these bodies on these spears for months.
His tactic worked. The Turks were horrified and retreated, crying along the way that the devil himself was at Trgovista. But this wasn't the first time Vlad caved in to his bloodlust. He used torture and impalement as an effective tool to keep order in his kingdom. He routinely rounded up enemies and brought them to a secret prison. That secret prison still exists. It's actually located 30 feet beneath this castle.